All right, we got another round of Talonflame games. This time around, it's my battles. So even though I covered these literally earlier today, I guess as of recording this, I wanted to show my set as well. And I'm actually kind of glad that I waited. I just wanted to record Canucks gameplay first, but I had just seen Zionic's gameplay today, where he ran basically the same thing we saw last time with Talonflame and Umbreon, but he threw in a Medicham. So that's interesting. Last time I covered, we had a Toxicroak on the team, and Zionic chose a Medicham. So it seems like a fighter along with Umbreon and Talonflame seems to be the way to go for everybody. This time around, however, I actually tried a Venusaur. Now this was thanks to Scientist E. He was in the chat. I could actually see him typing because this is a stream gameplay, but I'm covering all of that. And I think Venusaur played really, really well because our top counter on this team is a Bastiodon. And that is... Wow, okay. Definitely something I want to get into, but this match was insane. We couldn't believe this in chat. We're like, did he really... Okay, Ferrothorn's gone. We were like, did he really just safe swap a Ferrothorn into a Talonflame? I'm not sure what his team is or what his idea was. I don't remember what he had in the back, but yeah, sneaking through the extra Incinerate there means that I think I tried to farm down, but Talonflame generates energy so fast, and I think, yeah, that didn't KO, so I got hit with a move and just lost a ton of energy. But at this point, I'm thinking, I've got a Venusaur and a Umbreon, full health with two shield disadvantage. What could possibly be in the back? It was a Hypno. And he just left on the spot. I'm cracking up behind my recording right here in the stream. Like, we were like, okay, we just safe swapped the wrong Pokemon and then got very, very hard countered in the back. And I honestly can't even speak to why Umbreon is such a good pick for this team, but getting back to what I was saying about Bastiodon being the #1 counter to this team, there might be more top counters to Talonflame, but Bastiodon is the hardest wall that I found, and Venusaur does really well against it. Stunfisk is surprisingly, with a shield advantage, a winning matchup for Talonflame. If you have an energy advantage on Talonflame, or, a significant chunk of health taken away from the Stunfisk, it's actually really winning for Talonflame. Although Venusaur and Umbreon both have great neutral matchups on the back, and then of course Azumarill is a problem, so that's why I was surprised Onic went with Medicham. Last time we saw Toxicroak, that might be a pretty good counter to Azumarill, but even as he showed in his gameplay, and I don't think I actually encountered too many Azumarills here, Umbreon is actually pretty good. You can just spam Last Resort, and it's not a winning matchup because you don't want to commit any shields, but you can do a lot of damage to Azumarill, and it can actually go pretty well. So in this case, it's pretty, cookie cutter, just win lead. Tropius is taking super effective from the Sludge Bomb, swapping back into that Stunfisk. So this is what I was saying, where I don't have too much of an energy advantage, but it should be fine. I don't know if I can tank a Rock Slide from that range. I don't overtap because you definitely want to be throwing the Flame Charges as fast as possible, because Incinerate does a very good amount of the damage that you're outputting, which is kind of an interesting situation where most Pokemon you want to build up energy, then dump all of that energy all at once. But in this case, because Incinerate is doing so much offensive damage, all damage is offensive, but if it's so good that you want to just be boosting it constantly, like even against a Tropius here, I think it even starts to shield. I'm not mistaken. They might just, they even start to shield, but look, I don't get an Incinerate through. Doesn't matter. Aerial Ace is a really bad move. I'm gonna resist a lot of it, and a double resisted Leaf Blade does so little. Talonflame is so strong in the Great League, and yeah, farming down the Tropius. I don't even remember what he had in the back. I'm sorry, I was talking over this gameplay, but I mean, with that much of an energy advantage on Talonflame, it doesn't really matter. And this is recorded from a stream, and I didn't trim it up at all, so I'm gonna have to skip ahead. Oh, yep, we were doing team management. Sorry about that. Let me just, it doesn't matter who we're against. I'm sorry. Shiftry, this is interesting. So that is a really, really hard lead one for Talonflame, but in this case, I don't know why I built up extra energy. I guess it didn't matter. I figured Umbreon had such an overwhelmingly winning matchup against Drifblim that I'm just gonna swap out and bank a bunch of energy. I'm also gonna save us a bit of time. He's gonna spam Icy Wind. I'm gonna spam Foul Play. Oh, I'm sorry, I went too far ahead. I should stop. I should start being more careful. I'm gonna do that more in my videos. But yeah, he swapped out as soon as he could, just spamming Icy Wind and Foul Play. That matchup, if played in its entirety, which I thought it did here, is a very, very boring one. It's not very exciting at all. But again, this is a case where Last Resort is really nice to hit it with, and I think I landed a Last Resort. I'm not even sure. I'm sorry. I shouldn't skip ahead as much. But Flame Charge is going to do a huge amount of shield pressure, and this is where you get to see really what Incinerate can do. He's still going for it. I think I can tank a Foul Play. It's not really worth baiting, but a Leaf Blade would do next to nothing. Watch how much damage the Incinerate does. I think he shields this. He really thinks he can win this. Watch this. Oh, no, okay. Yeah, he's going to attack me first. I think I shield because, again, with this much of a Okay, no, I'm just letting it go. I'm letting it go. But no, look at that. 2 incinerates does half of his health, and then they just leave. They just leave. Like, that actually happens a lot. Like, these first couple of sets that I did with this team went really well. We're going to have a fun video today, but some people, so many people just back out. And Flame Charge is such a fantastic bait move, like I was trying to say earlier, that you get to it and the Brave Bird at the exact same time. So you end up with a situation where you're baiting for essentially what could absolutely be a Brave Bird, but it's a very safe bait because you're buffing your damage at the same time. Wigglytuff is interesting because I have great matchups in the back. Well, actually, I have a great matchup with Venusaur. You can hit neutral with Umbreon, but it's still not good. Believe it or not, if you can shield bait with Flame Charge, this is a winning matchup for Talonflame. And that is very surprising to me. I think I went double Flame Charge, and I think he double shielded, so that's really not good for me. But Venusaur has such a great matchup against the Charmer that I'm not really concerned. And there you go. There's the bait. And if I can land this Brave Bird, I'm either getting both shields or switch advantage, which is great for me either way. I'll completely take it. He shields it in this case. Not great for me, but obviously with that much of a defense drop, I'm dead. Umbreon, obviously, don't want that lineup against the Charmer. If he has Dazzling Gleam on the Altaria, that's not great, but that is very much so not a recommended moveset. I'm out of there instantly, getting out as fast as possible. And in this case, I decided to go for Frenzy Plant. I don't know if I overcharged. I think lag kind of happened. So I think in this case, I shielded and was like, all right, well, he already threw a move, so I have no reason not to just get in an extra few Vine Whips. If I don't do that, then I should have. Yeah, no, I totally farmed a little bit. And at this range, I was like, okay, that is definitely, definitely Sludge Bomb is what you want to go for, but this should be low enough for Frenzy Plant, so there's no sense in wasting any energy. And a Sludge Bomb is going to hit for neutral on Altaria. Nice. You want to get that out of the way as fast as possible because while it is winning for Umbreon, Altaria is still quite dangerous. And I know that last video I used our new artwork up there. I'm curious what you guys think about it. How you guys feel? Huge shout out to Hylian Swordsman. I haven't credited him in the comments of these, but I really should be. Everybody behind the scenes knows exactly who he is. He's been an artist on my channel for a while. Just a friend of ours. He's not even asking for payment. He's just having a fun time with these, and I might give some subs to his stream anyway because he is doing a fantastic job. And to record this video today, he did like an emergency Venusaur. He just whipped that together, and just looking at the time, he responded 10 minutes later. So I could tell that these aren't taking too much work for him. It's really fun. So if I ever do a video in the future where I don't have one of those, we are working through the Pokédex as I cover battles. So if you want to see more of the Pokédex covered, submit some battles down below. And I'm pretty sure that game was just a straightforward win. I'm sorry I'm not covering it as much, but I'm just really excited about so much that's going on. Either way, a lot of these gameplays just sort of play themselves out. You get the counters lined up and it's good to go. Now, this is interesting too. Getting against a rank 5. They must be having some really good sets because I was ranking, I was going against maybe after this set because it was really well. I was ranking against like 11, 12, 13, 14 ranked players. And I think I'm working with like a 70% win rate this season. So I haven't been playing every day. And this is a case where, oh my goodness, he's not going to get to a Surf before I'm going to get to a Flame Charge and a Brave Bird. And that's, again, why it's such a great bait. Because not only did he get the shield bait, so I got to use some extra energy, but now the Brave Bird is boosted, and it just annihilates it. And Ninetales, I'm not super scared of. Umbreon has a pretty okay matchup, and pretty much every time I Brave Bird, I don't shield. But in this case, I was like, you know what? I can make it. Let's go for another Brave Bird. Let's either nuke it or get another shield. And even if we do get the shield here, which, as you see, we do, I'm actually, like, triple debuffed now, because Brave Bird drops a lot of stages, and I'm like, all right, cool. He threw. That's fantastic. In fact, he kind of had to throw because he wasn't going to farm me all the way down, and there you go. I definitely want to keep Venusaur away from Ninetales. If he has double fire in the back, then boo-hoo. That sucks. I thought about throwing a foul play there just to chip the damage, and after seeing how much Sludge Bomb damage does here, I figured maybe that would have been good, but I think that there were just a lot of right ways to play this. With a shield advantage and a very healthy Umbreon, it's not really that scary of a matchup. And I already had, I don't know if I had any energy on Venusaur. No, I think he was ahead of me. And I'm like, hey, this is fine. I'm not shielding this at all. There is a Ninetales in the back, so you best believe I'm letting this thing go away. And then I think I was going to try to throw the Frenzy Plant, but lag kind of happened. Either way, I didn't really care. A nearly full health Umbreon with a shield versus a Ninetales is game over. I ate right before recording this, so There you go. Yeah, no, this matchup is essentially over. And again, I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit. I'm sorry if you guys like to see this play out. Comment below. Seriously, I'm just looking for feedback here. But yeah, I mean, he's throwing moves. I don't really know why. I was talking about this on stream. Like, come on. I actually said to chat, sorry, that's 10 seconds. You're never going to get back, because he threw twice and then quit. I'm like, come on, man. This game was over. Like, as soon as the Venusaurs knocked each other out, that game was over. And I think that was a nice 5-0. So I was like, okay. Okay, I went 3-2 with the first team that I tried with Talonflame, and then Scientist E suggested the team we had here, and I don't know if PvPoke was bugging. It might have, like, not updated properly, but the ranking for this team, plus the winning-losing matchups, were identical between his team and mine, and I won't quite spoil the team that I was using. I will say it was double water, because I actually have a whole video on that double water line. I just swapped in Talonflame towards the end, so I don't know if it's going to get its entire video. I ran like one set with it, but that is exactly what you love to see. Charmer in the lead, safe swap into Umbreon, and this is a super winning matchup. The only thing that it can do, the only thing that Hypno can possibly do is Focus Blast, and even then, I don't think that it KOs an Umbreon from full health, so this is completely fine. I don't shield whatsoever. Same strategy. This was before Zionic's video, but if you saw his, which you probably did, he's a very popular YouTuber, same strategy. Do not shield Umbreon, give it all to Talonflame. I'll even lose Switch, not against a Hypno, but I'll even lose Switch if it means I can get some extra shields on the Talonflame. That's completely fine. I even undercharge. I'm like, yeah, no, I want to be able to throw as many foul plays into the Charmer as possible, and even then, I'm actually willing to switch into like Talonflame from the Charmer, because Venusaur on the back can completely handle the Charmer. I'm really not worried about that at all, and this energy is kind of sort of wasted on that, but he came in with a Machamp, and I'm like, okay, my team handles Machamp perfectly fine too. It doesn't really matter. Venusaur and Talonflame both have good matchups against his last two Pokemon, so I don't even care right here. I'm just completely fine. You can farm me down, you can do whatever you want. I can double shield Rock Slide and not even worry about it. Like I said, I'm willing to just completely switch. Dump the energy on Umbreon. Don't let him farm me down, because it's bad. You don't want to give people extra energy. But even in this case, I was so confident in the matchup that I even suggested just going for it. Again, I'm okay with letting a counter through if it means I can just get off this Flame Charge as soon as possible. I want to buff my damage as quickly as I can, and look at that. He barely gets to the move, and I'm like, I'm going to shield. This is probably a cross chop. Definitely could be a Rock Slide, as you saw. And right here, I'm like, yeah, we're just going straight for Brave Bird. Right for it. I am not even worried, and this game is completely over. Look how much damage that does. Wigglytuff isn't like the tankiest in Great League, but it's not, you know, it's not a wimp. And it's really nice to see, you know, a move as powerful as Brave Bird boosted by Flame Charge doing that much damage. It's a really, really quite the sight to see. And I'm not sure how much the Q time is. We're good. So this is what I was talking about. Rank 14. Like, I'm getting against higher level players, but like I said, you know, messing around with some dumb teams even. I got a 70% win rate going. Like, we're doing all right this season, so they're definitely putting me up against higher. Again, you get to Flame Charge and Brave Bird at the same time. Flame Charge is obviously less energy, but it does quite a bit less damage. I actually looked at the damage over energy, and Flame Charge in that metric is actually a pretty bad move energy-wise. However, you know, it boosts your attack, so it definitely gets stronger the more you spam it. Now, Stunfisk is actually a pretty losing matchup when it comes to, you know, the even shields. If they double shield, you completely win. I think he was lagging here, and he might have even ended up backing out immediately. I'm not really totally sure what happened in this match, but maybe he lagged out or his whole team was weak to Talonflame. Either or, I don't know. Honestly, yeah, I don't know. If they shield that, then if they double shield the Stunfisk, I recommend just backing out. I mean, switching Pokemon. Don't leave the game. But yeah, another matchup where Galvantula actually is a pretty okay matchup for Talonflame. This is another one of those situations where it says that it's worse on PvPoke, but like, it really depends on if you can bait and whatnot. And my mom just texted me Big Bird. Yeah, because we have basically a forest in the backyard, and so we get fun wildlife all the time. Fun fact, for those who have been watching the streams, I found out how the mice are getting into my wall, and we're going to do something about it. So there you go. I've actually stood up on stream a couple of times and banged on the wall, because I can totally hear them in there. There's like a little hole right outside, and we found it, so we're gonna take care of that. Not really commentating this because Alola Marowak versus Umbreon is pretty cut and dry. You don't even need a shield. Even Fire Blast isn't that scary. And then a Scrafty comes in. I'm like, huh, thank goodness. Yeah, Venusaur and Talonflame, Both have great matchups against Scrafty, and I probably should have swapped out instantly, actually, on hindsight, because, yeah, this is winning for either. And I figured, okay, well, Talonflame with a shield advantage is very strong, so I am completely sacking the Venusaur at this point. We're just going to let Talonflame do whatever it needs to do. Foul Play's going to hurt, and I'm like, nope, not shielding, not shielding. I can make it. I can survive it. I can do this. The counters are resisted. Can we? Ooh, okay, so we can't do this, but that's okay, because he's in a health range where I can just Flame Charge farm down, and that is great. I probably don't even need to shield, but you really need a shield advantage on Talonflame, so I'm glad that he went into even shields, and this is what I'm talking about. I've already got an energy advantage. My Incinerates are already boosted. That's why I throw immediately, and this is really good. Volt Switch is going to do a lot, but Incinerate's going to do more. If you just see this, and he threw. I was actually like so excited on stream because I was like, oh yes, he threw. I can just get in an extra Incinerate, and oof, there we go. And I think I had the move. Oh, I don't have the move. Okay, this is what we were talking about. I was so excited that he threw, because if he would have just continued farming down, I would have lost this game. But because he threw the power-up punch, I was receiving the energy for the flame charge, and I was able to win the game. That was very, very certainly a lost game. If he would have just continued countering, I don't know how he thought he was going to get to 2 power-up punches or what the game plan was there, but by throwing the power-up punch, he allowed the Incinerate to just get all the energy without me taking any extra damage, and he kind of gave me the game there. So, hey, I'll take it. I definitely went 1-5 shortly after these battles. I think my very next set, I went 1-5, and I'm not showing those because they were very much so user error. I think I threw 3 of those games, and I don't know what happened to me on stream, but sneaking in an Incinerate was fantastic. Moving on to this battle where we don't go 1-5. Brave Bird, I'm like, okay, great. That means he's already debuffed himself, and look at that. I snuck in an Incinerate, and that's very specific because Mudshot, not going to do that much damage. It's actually single resisted because of the double flying weakness to it, so I'm like, okay, Politoed can only threaten me with Weather Ball, and he's not going to get to one before I at least throw 1 Incinerate. So I essentially, I think I have at least 2 Flame Charges. So I pretty much have full energy, 100 energy on that Talonflame, and I'm not even going to shield the Venusaur. I'm like, yeah, no, Politoed can do whatever it wants. I'll actually, I think, come in and Flame Charge, and then just Incinerate down the Politoed. Nope, actually, I came in with Umbreon. Okay, either play is okay. He does have an opposing Talonflame, so shield advantage is going to be essential, because I can, Brave Bird nuke that thing. And it's not great to have a debuff Talonflame in the back if I'm, debuffing it with the Brave Bird, but it's still the better way to win this. And yeah, that is where I just wanted to get it low enough, bank the energy, throw the flame charge, boost my damage. His shields are gone, so I'm like, yeah, this is completely over. Gonna Brave Bird again, kind of sketchy because you don't want to be double debuffing. I think it's triple debuff. What does Brave Bird do? And then I was like, oh my god. Wow, that is going to take 3 Incinerates to kill that Abomasnow. There is absolutely nothing he can do. That last flame charge was completely unnecessary, but wow. Whew. Seeing an Abomasnow in the back is always beautiful. That's something you like to see. There we go, Sunstrider. Here we go. Against a rank 12. This last set was just against people higher than me the whole time. It was kind of a nice feeling. It's nice to know that you're at least potentially ahead of the curve. So, Swampert, that's tricky. I think in this case you can win it. I'm not sure if you can tank a Hydro Cannon. You probably can in the Ultra League, but yeah, lost the lead and switch. But it's not over yet because obviously Venusaur is an extraordinarily hard counter to Swampert. I haven't checked the rankings on PvPoke. I'm sure there's one Pokemon that specifically walls Swampert better, but Venusaur is one of the classic Pokemon that just absolutely annihilates a Swampert, and this is great. Even to Last Resorts, because Toxicroak is so glassy, he actually has to shield, so even though I lose Switch, I get shield advantage, and as I've been saying like a mantra, shield advantage with Talonflame is good news. I think I shield this, even though I really shouldn't have. I should have really recognized that there was a Swampert in the back and that farming down isn't totally necessary. Now he gets off an extra move. At this point, I'm like giving up. I'm like, no, don't do it. And it was a Mud Bomb. I was like, okay, great. Didn't even need to shield that. And then I'm not even sure what the right thing to do is here. Because if I'm not mistaken, this game doesn't go well. And I'm going to talk about it now just so we can really analyze it. Because Double Brave Bird seems like a good idea on paper, and I think winning Switch advantage was the way to go. Like, I even shield this just so I can nuke the Swampert. Maybe farming down with Venusaur was good, but I believe Venusaur gets hard countered in the back. So I think there wasn't really anything I could have done. Like, at this point, Talonflame is super, super weak, and then it's a Skarmory. I'm like, well, that's over. This was painful to play out, and it's painful to watch. Skarmory is a super hard counter. He just farms me down and then Brave Birds me. It's Really, really bad. Oh, that was the last game. I apologize, but you didn't need to see that. It was annihilation on my end and no fun whatsoever. But what I did get to show is, yeah, hitting rank 11, and I got, I believe, yeah, a bunch of Stardust from that set. It was the 1500 with the premium pass, so I think I got whatever it would have been, 6,000 on top of the 4,000. And here's what I'm doing is I'm just catching a Pokemon just to update my Stardust count. I'm essentially just cleaning up what's at my house and then checking the total. So, yeah, really good games with Talonflame. Really, really digging this team. That was an unintentional freeze right there. You can see what I was using nice and clear. I really enjoyed this Pokemon, and it is my bread and butter. I've already got one leveled up to 49.5 for Ultra League. I will be clickbaiting that video, calling it level 50. I'm just saving it for level 46 when I need to max out 6 Pokemon. So, yeah, stay tuned for that for the Ultra League. And if you guys want to submit any gameplay, link in the description below. Subscribe on YouTube, and guess so much for watching. And have a nice day.